Hello all, and welcome to this very early afternoon's beer review. It seems pretty bright out there, but it's actually very cold and somewhat windy for Hawaii right now. I believe it's about 72, 70, no, probably closer to 72 right now. If it was 70, I would not be wearing just a t-shirt. Yeah, all you mainlanders are probably like, you're cold, you're 70 degrees here. Yeah. So, just finished cleaning up my grandfather's yard, going to the post office for him, cleaning up my bird. The new bird that I went and abducted. And I got beer, so, I'm ready to go and review for this afternoon. And beer is, of course, in the growler here, like I said, trying to go and focus mostly on local drinks, if at all possible. It's not going to be a hard and fast rule. It's going to be something I try to stick to for my 1 to 2 reviews I do a week. And what we are reviewing today is English Brown from Waikiki Brewing Company. I'm not sure if they canned this. I know they've canned several things. I've reviewed their canned Hefeweizen, and they have 2 other ones. But, I went and got this one in the growler. It's a fresh fill. Just got it filled less than an hour ago, literally. This is 5.14 ABV. I forget the IBU, but the hops used are East Kent Goldings hops. So, old world style English hops. But, of course, being that it is a brown, it is going to be very malt forward. So, going to be drinking it out of the, pint glass today. Regular pint glass. Why regular pint glass? Well, because, I don't get to use it all that much, and this seems like the kind of beer that best suits it. So, let's get to this, shall we? Okay. Lightly carbonated. A clear reddish brown color. See it up against the light here for you guys. With a thick, foamy, off-white head. Big nuttiness there. Got pecans, walnuts, brown bread, hints of toast, and a very slightly, almost earthy note of hops to it. Just providing a little bit of subtle overlay to all that nuttiness and, toastiness. Very light carbonation, which is should be for this style, I believe. It's not flat by any means. Of course, it wouldn't have a head if it was flat. But it is, it doesn't have a very perceptible bite, just a very light one, which allows that maltiness to kind of really shine through there. A nice toasted brown bread, and also kind of like a toasted hazelnut as well in the mids. Of course, you can see it's kind of a pain in the butt to do this. It does seem to do this a lot more when it's a bright day. Front has earthiness, a bit of hot bitterness, almost like a carob taste in the front. That sort of slight carob taste that lasts from the front all the way into the finish, kind of underneath everything else. I'm just going to close this a little bit so it stops causing them to billow up so much. Mid to finish, there's a earthy hot bitterness. An almost effervescent note, and I'm not saying effervescent like a carbonated note, but a sort of top note there. It kind of reaches the nose of kind of loamy, wet earth. But really defined from start to finish by toasted nuts and kind of toasted bread, with those earthy hops in the finish. So, a very good example of a brown ale, and why I believe you should have certain, some styles are better out of a can, and some styles really shine through, as a draft. And I really think that being pulled into as a draft into a growler really improves the experience of drinking brown ale, in that a lot of the canned darker styles are a wee bit over-carbonated. You want a nice, mild carbonation. Not so much so where it's like, a nitrogenation and it's much more creamy in the mouthfeel. This still has a little bit of the snap there. There's definitely, it definitely allows it to have a more creamy aspect, but there's still carbonation, snap, bite. I'm trying to think of another way what a light bite would be described as. No idea. Irritating. There we go. And oh, wonderful. And yeah. So what can I say about this beer, English Brown? Well, it's a pretty good local beer in that, locally brewed. It's not going to be it's not going to amaze you if you're like a connoisseur of brown ales, but it's a pretty darn good English brown ale, and it's one that definitely should be tried off the draft. That's your beer review for this afternoon, folks. Cheers.